Today, I will be talking about Syria, the Arab uprisings, and the political economy of the authoritarian resilience by Bassem Haddad. Through this presentation, I will be talking about what the author's main argument, what elements of the argument align with class structuralism and other theoretical traditions the case study could be included in, and why. The summary is that Bassem explores why the Syrian regime was able to survive the 2011 Arab uprisings, while others in the region fell. He argues that the answer lies in Syria's political economy, particularly the development of state business networks that tied the country's economic elite to the ruling regime. Through decades of economic restructuring and selective liberalization, the Assad regime created a system where powerful business actors were dependent on the state and had strong incentives to support its survival. Haddad shows that although Syria's social contract, based on state jobs and welfare, was weakening, the regime managed to maintain control by rewarding loyal elites, suppressing dissent, and fragmenting potential opposition. Rather than implementing deep reforms, the regime used superficial economic adjustments to diffuse unrest while maintaining its authoritarian structure. Authoritarian resilience in Syria is best explained not just by coercion or ideology, but by the regime's ability to manipulate economic structures to secure elite support and prevent unified opposition. Haddad's main argument is that the Syrian regime's ability to survive the 2011 Arab uprisings is best explained by the way it restructured its economy to build strong alliances with business and political elites. He also argues that the survival of the Syrian regime during the Arab uprisings cannot be explained solely by political repression, ideology, or sectarianism, in which the key to understanding the Assad regimes lie in how the state restructured Syria's political economy during the 2000s to create a network of mutual dependency between the state and the country's economic elite. Haddad's central argument is that the resilience of the Assad regime can be attributed to a combination of economic dependency, strategic neoliberalism reforms, and elite coup which together allowed the regime to withstand popular uprisings and continue its authoritarian rule. What is class? It is a theoretical framework rooted in Marxist and neo-Marxist thought that explains social and political phenomena primarily through the lies of class, relations, and economic structures. It also analyzes how economic elites use state power to protect their interests. Class structuralism studies how class struggles influence political events like revolutions, reforms, or regime resilience. It often critiques liberal or pluralist views that focus on ideology or political competition without addressing underlying economic relations. Class structure provides a powerful lens for understanding how authoritarian regimes, like Syria's, persist despite widespread popular discontent and uprisings. How Haddad's argument align with class structuralism? In Syria, the state primarily serves the interest of a dominant elite class, rather than the general population. Haddad analysis highlights how authoritarian regimes in the Arab world, especially Syria, rely on an interconnected relationship between political authority and the economic base. However, the creation of class-based dependencies is a form of control that complements repression. The ruling class in authoritarian regimes, like Syria, doesn't just use violence to maintain order. It ensures that large sections of society, through economic, social, and political channels, are dependent on the regime for survival, stability, and advancement. The system also produces and maintains class inequality and exploitation, especially under neoliberalism. Class structure determines political alliances and weakens mass mobilization when elites are co-opted. The economic policies under Bashar al-Assad were designed to strengthen the regime's hold on power and enrich the ruling elite. The needs of the broader population, especially the poor and working classes, were largely neglected in favor of preserving the status quo that benefited the economic elite. However, here are two theoretical traditions that the case study can be included in. Authoritarian resilience theory and neo-Marxism. Authoritarian resilience theory seeks to explain why and how authoritarian regimes persist in the face of internal and external pressures. Hadid's focus is directly on how Syria's regime survived the Arab uprisings, contributing a political economy explanation to broader debates about how modern authoritarians adapt and survive. Neo-Marxism builds on classical Marxist thought, but integrates state theory, international political economy, and dependency theory. Haddad analyses class formation, inequality, and capital development within an authoritarian context. The analysis goes beyond basic Marxism by focusing on the interplay between local elites and global capitalism, a hallmark of neo-Marxist political economy. Thank you all. That will be all.